What's up, everybody? Oh my goodness. First and foremost, before we even get into the show, I want to take the time to thank all the newcomers to the page. Welcome aboard, everybody who is new. And I'm also going to welcome all our older people who've been following us for a bit now since we started this program. So I just want to take the time to thank everyone for coming through. And tonight we're going to have Miss Phoenix Gibbs, who is waiting for us to connect her. That's going to be talking about her lovely release book on affirmations and everything you need to know about spirituality and affirmation galore. So we're going to connect everyone now with Miss Official Phoenix Gibbs. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being on time. I'm so excited to. So we have here, okay, Joy Nation Mom, welcome.
Hey, Mama.
What's going on?
Nothing over here tagging folks.
Awesome. So let me just welcome again. I like to say people's name individually. Joy Nation Mom, Miss Phoenix Gibbs, obviously with us. She's our guest for today. We have Diamond in the Rough. Welcome aboard, girl. You're gonna love this one. Auntie Rissy. Is that your sister?
Auntie Rissy is one of my besties.
Okay, bestie. Hi. And Unique Serenity. Welcome aboard.
That's another spiritual sister.
All right. We got all the spiritual sisters in the house. Let's do this. So, Miss Phoenix Gibbs, go ahead and introduce yourself and we'll take it from there.
I am Phoenix Gibbs. My gift is to share love, peace, blessings, inspiration with humanity by sharing my life experiences. And I decided to just share it in a book called 365 Days of Affirmations for your heart, mind, body, and spirit. And it's just pretty much based off of all of my life experiences thus far, but in a form of affirmations. Because sometimes when you write a book and people are like, well, dang, that's a really large book, so I have to read it. But when you read in affirmation form, it like hits the nerve. Hi, Dea.
Yeah.
It hits the nerve in such a profound way. So that's why I decided to just turn 6 years of affirmations that I created through my life experiences. Every time I went through a struggle or a challenge, I would write an affirmation and I would post it on Facebook. And that was back in 2014. And something in my spirit told me to copy and paste all of the affirmations and put it in a Word document and email it to myself. And so I was like, okay, I don't know what this is, but all right, I'm just go with the flow. So in 2019, I was going through my emails and I found affirmation book. And I'm like, what is this? And when I looked, it was 86 pages of affirmations that I created.
Wow, 86 pages. And you didn't even think about like the amount. Wow. I love it.
Yeah, so I was like, this is interesting. And I guess God, universe, ancestors, whomever is speaking to me at this time. And that's when I was like fully, on my spiritual journey and, started spiritual practice. And so it was just like, okay, it's time to do it. But what solidified it for me was my sis, Altamise Nicole. She's on here right now. Shout out to Altamise. Hey, Jamie.
Hi, Altamise.
She is a bomb publicist, public relations, social media marketing manager person, and a dear friend of mine. And so she said one day she was sitting outside on her patio and she was looking for affirmations. And she was like, damn it, my sis ain't even do her affirmation book yet. And then she said, Spirit told her, well, why don't you help her finish it? And so she helped me finish the entire book, helped me format it, along with Auntie Rissy, Christine. She actually, proofread it for me, has another person proofread it for me, got the book formatted. Altamise got it, the cover designed, ISBN, I mean, everything possible you can think of to get it to be today. And I'm so grateful to her for that because I actually was able to, you've told me this before, the way that I help people, how I go above and beyond. And so for that to become something like to have that done in return to me, I didn't even know how to feel. I was like, wait, what?
A law of reciprocity, girl. It works. Okay. I love it.
So, yeah, and that's how the book came about. It's just pretty much me just sharing every part of myself, every part of my life, my journeys, good, bad, and different, to give people hope, to give people inspiration, to give people some form of inner tranquility, especially those who are having difficulties and they are screaming on the inside, and on the outside they're smiling like nothing's wrong, but deep down they're going through so much stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
with this,
Mm-hmm.
it'll find a way to just like, have a form of peace, like light, something. And it's a good go-to. It was my joy. It's such an honor to love you. Oh, thank you. It's just a great go-to guide for people. And I've written a book before, so this is my second book. The first book was good, and I'm a proud of it. But this book was such an accomplishment to me that I cried the whole day when I saw it on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. Like, I just waterworks, because it was like, wow, 6 years in the making, so much hard work into it, and taking me back to parts of my life that I wasn't proud of, parts of my life that I've been through trauma and abuse. So to like relive it and put it in a book for people to like say, well, damn, like I've been through that too, but this affirmation is helping me get through that period of time in my life. And so I wrote it for those people. I wrote it for people who feel like they're not being heard, feel like they're not being seen, feel like they don't have a voice. You have a
Mm-hmm.
voice. You have
Yes.
a voice. Take whatever affirmation from the book, whatever day when you're going through some stuff, and use it to your advantage.
Right.
And so 365 affirmations, there's an affirmation for every day of the year.
Do you have the book before you that you can show people what it looks like? Okay.
Yep.
I also did tag her on the announcement part, which is the reel that I have here, which is also connected to her
Mm-hmm.
Instagram page. That's 365 affirmations by Phoenix Gibbs. So you guys can follow that page as well. It's so funny
Absolutely.
how I'm listening to you and you're saying that when you look at the cover of your book, that you get very emotional because you know what? It's
Mhm.
mutual. When I saw the cover of your book, I just felt like, oh my God, like, and let me let everybody know, like, I know Phoenix for a long time. And I knew the person before Phoenix, okay?
Mhm.
And I know the person now, which is Phoenix, okay? And they're both beautiful people by all means, like the person before, we had a loving friendship, and the person now, we have another loving friendship. But we are at another level where
Mhm.
I can see why, the person before is not here anymore, pretty much, and the new person is here, which is Phoenix. Because it took me a while to get adjusted as well. I'm like,
You
but
and
I
everyone else
understand
in my
it
whole
now.
family. Yeah, my whole family was like, I gotta call you Phoenix now. Like that's the name I prefer you to call me. Like, but I'm just saying I can't call you the other name. I'm like, no, that's I'm her because that's my birth name, but my ascension, my spiritual name, yes, Dea, it's a new season. It's a new
Yeah.
season. Like I just want to be called Phoenix because the reason why the name Phoenix came about is 2020. Of course, the pandemic started, but I went through a whole spiritual ascension, like awakening that I've never felt before my whole entire life. And I pretty much had to go deep within myself and heal old wounds. Like literally, I hit spiritual rock bottom. And what made me realize that I was manifesting my ascension is because every day I would pray for God, universe, angels, ancestors to release what no longer serves me. Every single day back in 2019 to 2020. And so when it started happening, I was like, yo, I manifested that crap. Holy crap.
Ooh, I could identify too. And let me tell you, when it started pouring on me, it was hard. Like, you shed
Girl.
tears. You go through a metamorphosis. If you guys know what that is, go research that word, okay? You guys have it in biology, it's real, all right? Go
Mhm.
research
Like
metamorphosis. because you go
It's
through a human metamorphosis. And the truth of the matter is that we manifested that. But we don't realize the things that we're saying, like affirmations,
mhm.
staying positive and practicing that and having it become something of the everyday for us. Like it's totally second nature. It's mundane. Like this is what we do.
Mhm.
Transitions us into a whole nother realm of
Yeah.
people, possibilities, new
Mhm.
visions, new realities. So we're stretching ourselves literally from one end to another without realizing it. And when we get there, we're like, oh my God, what am I doing?
So it was uncomfortable and painful, yet beautiful and rewarding at the same time. And I remember it was in June last year, and I was making some bracelets, and I had my altar set up with my goddess Isis, my spiritual mommy, and I
Mhm.
just heard her in my ear, emerge like the phoenix rising from the ashes that you are, my beloved.
Mm.
I was like, yo, did I hear what I thought I just heard? It was that type of
Yeah.
thing. And I just was like, Phoenix, okay. And then the next days after that, it just kept popping up, emerge, Phoenix, emerge, Phoenix. I'm like, all right, I guess that's my name. That's what it gotta be. And that's how it came about. And it felt comfortable, it felt right, it felt so aligned with me. So aligned with me. And it's funny because my other friend, Malika, who's on here, who's I'm gonna connect you. She bombed. I'm gonna tell you why. But anyway, Saturday on my birthday, I turned 44 this past Saturday, and I'm scrolling on Facebook. And Malika actually had in February 16th on 2013, she had the Phoenix Rising on the Ashes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh
And
my
I was like,
goodness.
damn, it was crazy. I was like, okay. And
Wow.
so with the transition process, I was shown parts of myself parts of myself, and I wrote it in a book. I was shown how I mistreated and misused myself and how I allowed other people to mistreat and misuse me. And it
Mm.
came to a point where I had to surrender to my power and my greatness within myself because I didn't do that. Because I
Mm.
was doing surface healing. I wasn't doing deep healing.
Talk about deep healing, girl. Mm.
So
That's a
it
whole
was just,
nother world. But
I
it's
was
worth it,
seeing,
guys. Trust me. I mean, it's worth the process, but you just got to
yes,
be willing. You just got to be
yeah, you
willing.
have to be willing, you have to be confronting, you have to be honest, you have to be transparent with yourself. Like honesty is so intricate in your healing process when you're going within and doing your work. If you're not honest with yourself, you cannot ascend in no way, shape, or form. And you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to confront, to just be as uncomfortable as possible and allow the tears to flow and allow the shedding of the skin like a snake to just
Yeah.
shed away from you.
Peel
You
off.
have
Yeah.
to, because if
Mhm.
not, then you continue with the cycle. And then the other part of it is I had to sit down with myself and reflect on people in my life who treated me like an option, and people in my life who treated me like priority, and people in my life that I treated like an option and priority. And I had
Mhm.
to let all those people who treat me like an option and I did the same for them, I had to let them go
Mhm.
because they were no longer part of my space, my circle, my family, and I had to create and well first define what family means to me, and then I had
Mhm.
to create a family, and then I had to create a boundary that says, you know what, you are allowed to give power and permission to yourself to give access and energy to who you choose now in
Mhm.
this life. And so whomever has access and energy to me, I love them, I respect them, they love me, and they respect me. And like you were talking about reciprocity, there always has to be a level of reciprocity. I don't care what it is, if it's just like, hi, hello, how you doing? Something.
Yes.
To
Yes.
realize that I was having all of these one-sided relationships where I was always the one reaching out. I was always the one checking in. And then people would only call me when they want something, or when they remember I have something to offer, or they need a reading, or they need this, or they need that. And so I got tired of it, and it drains me so bad. And I was like, you know what? No more. I
Mhm.
can't do it.
And
And so,
even with the readings too, you started doing readings and that's great, but at the same time, people will like take advantage of your energy on that, you know?
absolutely. Yeah. And I stepped back from readings too because Spirit was like, you're not doing that anymore. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
They'll
not
take
doing it.
advantage of your energy. I mean, one thing I hate, I've had like a couple of people come and they're like, "Oh, I've been watching you on Instagram and you have such great energy and I would love to do a reading from you." Like, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You don't come and tell me what you can do for me. Like, if I need that, by all means, spirit will connect me. God will connect me, with
So
you. I just had one the other day and I was just like, oh, for real, like, please give me a break.
my favorite of when I started seeing people for who they are, when people inbox me, oh my God, I miss your energy so much. I'm like, my energy is no longer available for you.
Yes,
No one else that I want to have you don't have access to my energy or my spirit anymore. And then I will block them because
yeah,
you just showed yourself to me. You just showed me that you were friends with me because of my energy. So you became, as we call, energy vampires. Yeah, the energy
yeah,
vampires started releasing themselves. And I was like, block, delete, block, delete, block, delete. Because you know what?
yes,
Come on. We ain't doing that
yeah.
no more.
And the thing about it, this, I mean, we got to talk about energy vampires because that stuff is so real. Like,
Yes.
it's crazy how you have to pay attention to the words that people utilize.
Mm-hmm.
People who are here to take advantage of you will always give you something related to energy type of speech. They will
Mm-hmm.
attack you or contact you or reach out to you by saying, I love your energy. I need your
Yeah.
energy. I haven't
Right.
seen you in a while. I miss your energy. Like, what the
Yeah.
heck is that? You know,
You don't miss me, but you miss my energy?
exactly. So that's to show you, that tells you exactly, pay attention, people. That tells you exactly that there's some people who are there watching you because they feed themselves on your energy. That's what they
Yep.
consume day in and out.
Uh-huh.
Morning, afternoon, evening, night, they consume you watching what
Yes.
you do. Okay? So it's just like me. I do this show right here. And the platform is She Writes and Speaks the Truth. Now, there are a lot of people come in my inbox. I want to interview. I want to interview. I like your show. Da, 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 da. Okay, no problem. It's open. But the thing about it is this: you can tell those who are ready to come on this platform because
Mm-hmm.
you got to be honest to God with yourself. You got to be
Yep.
like in full effect, like ready to expose yourself. Because once you
Mm-hmm.
come here, it's transformative.
Yeah.
I just provide the space. I'm
Uh,
holding space for you. So those who don't make it, I totally understand. Those who don't make it,
my
I
friend,
totally understand. And I don't feel
my
bad
friend,
about it because you're not ready. You're not
my
ready.
friend, my friend Daya said it's more like I love your energy, now give it to me and then die.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's all you're good for, your energy. They don't care
Yep.
about your personality. They don't care if you're having a good day, a bad day, in between day. They don't care if you broke up with your, life partner or if you're happy in your space, if you're looking to move forward, if everything, if your deals are going well, if you have money in your pocket, they don't care. They just want
And
your
the thing
energy.
about it, too, as soon as they contact you, they don't even ask you how you doing. They just go straight for the jugular. Girl,
Yes.
and you're sitting there like,
Yes.
I,
Yes.
I asked one person one time on Instagram, how you doing? That's it.
Hmm.
This mofo gave me a whole paragraph. I didn't even read it. I just blocked it.
Yeah, I'm
I,
on the automatic block nowadays too. Like, and you know what? It's bringing me so much sanity. It really is. Like, it's so,
brings you so it
yeah,
brings you so much peace. You're less
peace.
anxious, you
Yes,
know, less drained. Like, and I what I started doing is affirming and evoking a bubble of protection over my heart, my mind, my aura, my body, my spirit, everything, every single day. I evoke and affirm a power of protection over my whole entire being that nothing or no one ever penetrates me ever again. I affirm and evoke that I'm sending out positive, powerful love and light to anyone who needs it without depleting my energy.
Yes, because
anymore.
you don't have to be depleted. You don't have to be
Mhm.
and being depleted, like depletion of energy is something real, guys. Like you feel it. You feel when somebody is pulling on your energy. Somebody is like pulling on you. You feel like
Mhm.
you're shifting. You're not in alignment, you know,
Yeah.
and it's terrible. And that's when you
And the
start to
thing,
experience things like headaches and, you know, you're
yeah.
off balance and all that. Headaches are not
Mhm.
like natural things, guys. Okay. If you start experiencing headaches, something is off. Like you're off balance.
Yeah.
Something is not right. Okay. You know, that's just the way that it is. So let me welcome a slew of people who came in. We have a whole lot. Real Hey Ken. What's up, Ken? Miss Daya, I see
I
this
read
you
you some of the
here.
affirmations from the book.
And we have, oh, Mr. Big G. What's up? GQ. Dwayne Hurd. Who else? Who else? I saw quite a few of them.
Comedian Miss
Thrifting for
Lee.
Purpose. Welcome aboard, everybody. Reading Truth
Yeah.
Tarot by Clara. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, she's bomb too. Like, yo, I remember one time I was on Clara's YouTube for Aquarius and she was just hitting, and I was like, is she in my closet or something? What the hell? I have to like, what you know about my life? Like, yeah. But anywho, I'll read some of the affirmations that I have in the book.
Okay.
Like I said, just based off, my some of my life stories or whatever. So one of them is I choose to pray and manifest with trust, confidence, and peace of mind because the universe always finds a way to take care of my every need, want, and desire.
Mm,
And then the other one is I was built to be unstoppable, unbreakable, and unshakable. There is nothing big or small that I can't handle or overcome. I choose to work on myself daily, regardless of how discouraged I may feel due to things in my life not working out the way I desire them to.
I love that.
I remain dedicated to healing my heart and spirit because past trauma no longer has control over my life. I give myself permission and I have the willpower to release all the hurt and pain I feel in order to finally feel complete.
Nice, nice, nice.
I strive to set honest and transparent expectations for future generations. I exemplify integrity and a positive outlook on life, and I strive to inspire others to do the same.
Nice.
I am committed to inner healing, inner work, and introspection. These tools help me become the person I want to be by helping me let go of fear, guilt, and shame. And then I know my birth date. I don't know my death date. Until that time, I promise to live my life authentically and passionately, doing all the things that I love.
That's the real one. That's the real one right there. That's like the one you put in a tippy cup and be like, everybody needs to sip on this one right here, okay? Because that's the equation that we're living in. That's how we're living. Okay, we're here basically renting space. We have no idea when it's
Mm-hmm.
over, when it's done. So meanwhile, what are you gonna do while
Yeah.
you're still here renting space? Because that's what you're doing. You're renting space. You're not gonna be here forever, you know?
Yeah. This one is I no longer enable myself with bad behavior and habits that leave me feeling depleted and discouraged. I take full responsibility and check with myself regarding things that no longer are working in my life. I make the proper changes for things to happen the way I desire them to.
I like that. I really like that. You know, like I said, I can't wait to receive your book. Um, I did get the email today saying that it's on its way. So I'm like, okay, great. But it's just that I'm just so anxious to start reading it because I'm so much into affirmations, as you know. You know, affirmations is part of my life. And anyone, I want to know, did any of you guys actually get into affirmations, especially towards 2020, like last year? Because that was, if you were not in affirmations at all, like you really was not centered around yourself, that was the year for you to kind of get the signals for you to be like, well, maybe I should start to like focus and zero in on me. So I want to know if anybody in the room here, um,
Thank you, Daya. She said, I watched you grow and become so humble, yet assertive and confident. I'm so proud of you. So
Absolutely.
so yeah, people did practice affirmations in 2020. However, it was not the correct affirmation. It was the
Mm-hmm.
negative affirmation, the affirmation of fear, the affirmation of anxiety, the affirmation
Mm-hmm.
of hurt and pain, but also affirmations that cause them to run away from themselves as opposed to running to themselves. Because 2020 was a year where so many people, because we were in lockdown, people were forced to face themselves because they no longer had vices outside of themselves to go to. So they had no idea what the hell to do with themselves.
That's
So they
true
pretty
too.
much sabotage their lives with negative affirmations, negative self-talk, negative actions, negative emotions and feelings. That's the type of affirmations that they did in 2020. But if you were able to sit with yourself and go within, as we say, then you would come up with creative affirmations to say, okay, yes, that's the kind of person I was, and I made mistakes, and I forgive myself. I'm going to love myself more. I'm going to wake up to myself. I'm going to surrender to my power, my peace, and greatness within me.
Mm-hmm.
And so shifting it and turning it around and transmuting it, that's what happened to so many people in 2020, and it's continuing in 2021 for
Yes.
some people. So
Yes.
this book came at a good time because it gives people an opportunity to be like, well, damn, like I really did some stuff, and 2020 was another year of reflection. Because
Absolutely.
I reflected a lot in 2020, like, whew, Lord, heavy.
Yeah. Same here. Same here. I mean, how could you not? You know?
Not. How could you not? It was just something. So I think this came at the right time, and I sincerely hope that whoever reads it, they get something out of it. I hope that it helps them heal in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. This one is I honor my anger and my pain. I ask myself, how can I use these emotions to become a better human being who sees things from a different perspective?
Hmm. That's the big one. That's the big one. Because it's one thing to see things from a different perspective, but then it's another thing to be accepted that you have a different perspective. That's one. And then the big part is is for the people around you to allow you to express that new perspective. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
that's been a big challenge.
It is a huge challenge. And I think because we're so conditioned and programs and things like that, like for me, what I realized too when I was going through my ascension process, I had to reprogram my thinking and my feeling. And I had to like parent myself in a
Yeah.
way because I learned that my parents' experiences and my grandparents' experiences was their experience. It has nothing to do with me.
Hmm.
I had to create my own way of thinking and feeling because sometimes with our parents they'll tell us certain things and we believe them, and sometimes it's so untrue.
Yes.
You
I
know,
mean, they try to
if you
frame
don't,
our reality for us.
right? If you don't eat your vegetables, you're not gonna grow.
Yeah.
If you cut
So
your hair, it's not gonna grow back.
we
I'm
could
growing.
write a book with the list of the things that they used to tell us. That'd be a whole nother book.
So it's having to acknowledge, honor their experiences, but don't take it into ourselves because from the time that we were born, our moms went through so much pain and hurt and suffering and whatever they went through during the pregnancy. So it trickled down to us. So now as adults, it's our responsibility to take it upon ourselves to say, okay, you know what? You're responsible for your feelings, your actions, your emotions, and what you create in your life.
Yep, everything
You're responsible.
transfers straight to from the womb. Yeah.
It does transfer to the room. And you and I had this discussion before.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were talking about emotions in the womb and stuff, it starts from the womb, but it started from our mom's womb. It started from her mom and her grandma and so on and so forth. And they never heal from that because their thing is, let's just stuff that down. You be strong and you move forward and you stay in that situation and you do this and you do that.
Yep.
No, that's not acceptable to me.
And at the end
I'm
of the
not doing
day, it's all a myth. It's illusion because you
it.
have nothing but fear that you're
Mhm.
confronting every day. You're going against fear all the time. It's all an illusion. Okay. Fear
It
by
is.
itself, it's all false, guys. False evidence
Yeah.
appearing real. That's fear. So right then and there. You just
Yeah,
fighting with illusions.
it is fighting with illusions, very much so. And it's just something that, we as a society have to learn how to take back our power permission that we've given to our parents and their experience, because that's
Yeah.
their stuff.
I came to
Because,
realize that this is all mind games, though.
hmm
It really is. Like when you really get it and you reach the point where you just have like you released yourself, you release all the baggage and everything. You're like, man, they've been playing mind games with me all this time and I never knew that.
yes, seriously.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? When I came to that realization, I got mighty upset. I was pissed. Like I was ready like to go get them. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me cool off. Like, but still,
I,
they've been playing
I
mind
was
games with us.
I was pissed too. I was like, what kind of foolishness, tomfoolery?
It's
But
true.
okay,
You
girl,
know?
like, that's their thing. You don't have to take that on. You
No,
never, nobody else. You're not responsible for that.
absolutely not. You're a whole different being, a whole different person. You know,
Exactly.
your
And so
problems,
once,
their problems cannot derive to you. Like, you can't carry them over.
right, because once you learn to release yourself from that burden,
You cut that generational curse.
exactly, that's when you become
Exactly.
more lighter and you see things more clearer, and then you're
Yeah.
like, ain't this some BS? Oh,
No
okay, now
carryover. No carryover. Uh-uh.
you can't. No, I refuse. I refuse. And especially with family, and now with my family, they're like, "Well, look at her. She feel like she that. Yep, I am this and that and the next and the other. And what?"
Same here. Yeah, I know it. We know it. We know it. We know it. We all go through it. I know. But what happens is that eventually, when they start to watch you and they see how you're operating in such a lighter light, they
Yeah.
tend to, come towards you because your light is attracting them. So they tend to
hmm
come towards you and it starts a transformational work within them little by little. But, it
hmm
takes something. They have to see you shine brighter consistently, you know?
Yeah, and I'm always saying that you have to consistently show up for yourself.
Yes. Yes.
See, in challenging times, the bad times, the times when you don't want to get out of bed, the times that you're crying on the floor, you don't want to get off the damn floor, that's when you have to show up for yourself in the most empowering way possible. That's
Yeah.
when you have to show up for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's when you can't give up on yourself. And there's times when I'm just like, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna do this, but
Yeah.
okay, just get up off the floor.
Yeah.
That's when you have to do it the most. And it's just I don't know. This war right now, when I look at it, it makes me even more grateful for just breathing. It
Mm-hmm.
makes me more grateful for just looking around at the stuff that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And success, my definition of success is having impeccable health, all of my senses, my eight senses, because I got so many damn senses, eight senses, not five. um, my wife, of course, my family, my friends who are there, appreciating their presence, like expressing love and respect and appreciation, and being more compassionate in my life with people, because with COVID is the way that this thing is taking people out is
Yeah.
really true to that saying, here today, gone tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Here today, gone tomorrow. So it's really, really important to really express to people how they make you feel, or express to people, hey, you're doing a good job. I see you. I
Mm-hmm.
hear you. I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
Know that you're appreciated. Know that you're loved. You know what I mean? That's extremely important in these days, and I think that's what humanity is lacking a lot of, the compassion for each other. We don't have that no more.
And you know what? Humanity's been lacking this for the longest time. I mean, I remember when back in 2000 when I went to landmark education, and I went through a slew of courses, the whole program, and it was very transformative. And what they do, you know about it because you went through, I think, a class like that as well. I forgot what the name was. Was it
Momentum.
quantum? Momentum.
Momentum.
Okay. And They teach you basically how to be, how to
Mm-hmm.
love, how to embrace, how to be open to yourself and people. Like, and
And how
you
to be
know,
vulnerable.
exactly. And a lot of people don't even want to be that way because, first of all, they do not, it's vulnerability has always been expressed to be weak. You
And it's a
know,
strength.
it actually is. It's the reverse. But we could say that because we understand it. We have taken classes to have an idea and then we practice to the point where we are now. But most people
Mm-hmm.
are still looking at us like, oh my God, how you guys doing this? This is crazy and all that stuff, you know? And,
Yeah.
you know, they're like, how are you so open to people? Like I had somebody came to my inbox the other day. It was like, I love watching you. I love your show, Tuesdays and Thursday. But let me tell you, how you be talking to people like that?
You know what?
Because they're like, you talk to everybody. And I was like, yeah, I'll talk to a roach if I have
Yeah.
to.
I think with people, I think it's you making a powerful commitment to yourself, to honor yourself, to love
Yeah,
yourself in such an intricate way that is something that you practice every day from the time when you wake up, you got to brush your teeth, wash your face, whatever the case may be. It's the same
yeah.
thing as your commitment to yourself, commitment to your
Hmm.
love, commitment to
Absolutely.
understanding all parts of yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. And I tell people all the time now, I had to learn how to nurture my shadow side. I had to learn how to love my dark side.
Yes,
The
that's
anger,
something I had to learn as well. Yeah.
the rage.
2020 taught me that.
Exactly. And people,
Yeah.
when they think of dark side, shadow side, they think of occult and black magic and all that. No, it's
Yeah.
basically learning how to combine both parts of you, because we both have the light, we both have the dark.
Yeah.
That's how we were created. But
Yeah.
it's
That's
how
the
you use it.
balance. Hmm.
Yeah, it's how you use it. I was talking to a friend one day and she was like, I'm upset and angry because this is that. I said, okay, you know what? Put the anger energy to use. Do something creative with it.
Absolutely.
Let that fire fuel within you to do something creative.
Yeah.
Like
And
I
that's
said,
another thing, creativity. 2020 had everybody drop whatever it is that they were most likely doing on a regular basis and was
mm-hmm,
like, you know what? Now you got to go back to basics and use your brain and think about what is it that you can do,
mm-hmm,
to
true.
help yourself. And
It's
that
so
was very difficult for many
it's
people.
not for everybody. I normally make candles and products and whatnot. I went to Hobby Lobby. Everybody and their mama making candles. I couldn't find stuff for my clients because everybody's
Exactly.
making candles, everybody's cooking, everybody's doing this, and I was like, wow, it's crazy. And the other part about it is too, you know how in New York we have botanicas. Here in Savannah is cosmic shops. The
Okay.
cosmic shops were running out of Florida water, candles and sage and Palo Santo. They were just
Mm.
running out of it. I'm like, what is going
Yeah.
on? Like, there's an
Yeah.
awakening going on when everybody now wants to do the sage thing and they want to buy the crystals and they want to do this and that. So it's really interesting to sit here and be like, wow, I am truly before my time. I'm really old soul at this point, and so are you, because we've been doing this
Yeah.
stuff for like,
Girl, when we talk, you know what? We need to create our own community of old souls. Who in here want to be old souls with us? Because
oh,
it's working.
a couple of old souls, a couple of souls here. But yeah, but I took some of the negative energy and the challenges and the heartbreaks and everything into this book.
Yes.
And that's why it's so much, because as much as good there was bad, however, at the same time it was like, all right, how do I transmit this energy into something powerful and positive that people can relate to?
Mm-hmm.
Can
Mm-hmm.
relate to, and that's how I came up with it. And it's just something that, I mean, when you read it, you'll be like, okay, I need to get my stuff in order. It's like a reality check book.
Mm-hmm. No, all affirmation books are actually reality check books. Actually, when I get affirmation books now, like I try to use it as a reference book, so most
Yeah.
likely like your book, I'll be using as a reference book. I'll be using it more to also like probably create my YouTube, videos with that as well. everything else. So, and when I say cross reference book, I mean, you guys should also think about the Bible is a cross reference book, but it's also an affirmation book, and people don't know how to utilize it in affirmation style. But if you use
Yeah.
it in affirmation style, you will see how effective that will be for you.
Yeah.
And you could actually create a lot of great things that comes your way. And I think that it's something that a lot of people should try to get into. Like, there are a lot of the prayers out there. You could put
Yeah.
them in affirmation style.
Absolutely, and that's what I did. Here's one for you. I give myself grace and forgive myself for past mistakes. I realize that it will take a process for me to experience true forgiveness and healing.
Yes. Ooh, child. Talk to me.
But a lot of it, because one here too, I in the book I talk about a lot of healing process. My healing process and going through my journey of just my experiences and allowing them to be my teacher. And I always say that my experiences turn into lessons and lessons turn into wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have an experience, instead of saying, damn, I can't believe that's happened to me, it's like, okay, what is the lesson I was supposed to learn from this?
Mm-hmm.
What was it
Yeah.
that I was supposed to know from this experience so I can apply it to my life? And if I encounter this over again, then I know exactly what to do. But at the same time, you won't do that anymore because you've already learned the first time. So when you see this coming, you're like, oh wait, okay, yeah, I can't do that no more. I
Yeah,
can't do
that's
that no
the
more.
thing. That's the thing about, once you start to really step into your personal self, your spirituality, and you really get centered, there's no way in the world for you and not to realize when a lesson has come your way. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot go through these particular experiences and then to have you be stuck and go through it again, 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 and again. There's just no way.
Isn't that the definition of insanity?
Yeah. I mean, like, not to knock anybody, but I'm just saying there are some people out there who literally like park into their problems and they
Mm-hmm.
sit in it and they're
Mm-hmm.
like, well, I don't know what to do. And, this is the way my life is. No, it's not. Is that the decision you made? Like, really?
That you make, and you got to take responsibility for that decision because at that point you're addicted to that. You like it.
Absolutely. Like, you could break the frequency and adapt to a new one.
Yeah.
Why does it
Mm-hmm.
have to be that way? Like, I have people, like, it's so mundane. Like, I come to a point where, like, look, if I see you doing that same thing again and you still complaining, then you know what? We're gonna have to like cut our ties because I just cannot be dealing with that. You know?
Well, I often tell people when they're going around in vicious circles, I'm like, okay, honey, if you like it, I love it, and go. I'll exit stage left because yeah, we're not doing
Yeah,
it
yeah.
because it seems like you want to continue to do the same thing over and over, which is fine, no judgment. I've been there and I know exactly what that's like. But what point are you going to say to yourself, have I had enough yet of this
Yeah.
ride?
Yeah, enough. And it goes with everything. Like, unique serenity is she's saying that I like that park into your problems. Yeah, that's the way I call it. Because you're sitting in it and
Yeah.
you're indulging in it. And it's like it's okay, but you're constantly complaining, but you're not doing anything. I mean, I come from the whole saying where it's like, okay, if you want something different, then you got to do something different, you know?
Absolutely.
So
Hmm.
just go and re-examine what is it that you're not doing or haven't done that maybe you need to try to do to see if you're going to get a different result, period. And that's it, you
And it
know.
goes with this information. I live in the now and I do not revert back into the past. The way I live my life now will create the future I desire and deserve. My future depends on every decision I make in the present. I choose happiness, peace, abundance, and prosperity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know I'm going to love this book. I know I'm going to love this book. I just can't wait. Like, they said they
Yeah.
shipped it today, so that means in 2 days I should get it, if not tomorrow.
Well, I have to still do well. Everyone's invited to my virtual book signing. It's going to be on Facebook this Thursday, February 11th at 8 p.m.
I have yet to
Eastern
get into that group. You know me with groups. I just be like, yeah, I get there. Because you know how many people invite me to groups? I've been like removing myself from old groups and now reinitiating to new groups. It's just like I can't.
Well, it's not a group, it's just an event page. So I'm just doing it on the, you know how people send you the event invite? It's just an
Okay.
invite.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't
Okay.
want to do, I just like, I thought about it and I was like, no, I just did an Instagram for it and that's it. So
Okay.
last one, I no longer feel guilty about having wants and needs because I deserve all the blessings that life has to offer me.
Awesome. Miss Serenity have a question. She has a question. How do you embrace and be vulnerable when you have been hurt so much? How do you
So
embrace and be vulnerable when you have been hurt so much?
So me coming from a person who's had a near-death experience in 2011, I've learned to embrace every experience that I've been through in my life because if you sit there and you focus on all the hurt, you actually miss all of the joy and all of the peace and experiences that's coming your way, all the opportunities and gifts that's coming your way if you sit there and you focus on it. And you
Mm-hmm.
don't allow yourself the opportunity to experience and create the love that you're looking for. Because what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing is you're continuously bringing in that energy of hurt to you, and you're going to bring the energy of other people who are hurting to you. However,
Yeah,
if you vibrate in a higher frequency where you're like, okay, yeah, I've been through this experience, I've been hurt here or there, I've been hurt 500,000 times. However, I had to make a decision. Are you going to live or are you going to die? And what I mean by that is, are you going to live or die emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, financially? Are you going to live or die? You have to choose where you want to go and who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world. You
yes,
create your whole entire lifeline. God
yes.
gives us free will. So we create our whole entire lifeline. What is it going to look like? And the other question I said to myself, if I ever, when it happens, when I'm on my deathbed, before I take my last breath, I'm going to ask myself, did I do every damn thing that I wanted to do that made me happy? I don't want to be on my deathbed before I take my last breath saying, damn, I should have, could have, would have, and I didn't because I was hurt, because somebody broke my heart, because somebody rejected me, because I was disappointed. No, there's so many people in life before they take their last breath, they leave this earth with regret because they didn't give themselves permission and power to do what they wanted to do. They didn't give themselves permission and power to live a genuine, authentic, powerful life. They didn't give
Absolutely.
themselves permission to create what they wanted because they were so fearful of getting hurt. You can walk down the street and get hit by a car. That's a risk.
Mm,
Every
that's true.
time you step outside your house or even in your house is a risk. Hurt is a risk. Love
Yes,
is a risk.
yes. It's
It's a
so important that you said that. Oh my God, I love it. Love is a risk. You guys heard love is a risk, people. So,
risk.
some people walk into love like, it's just like nothing. Like, did you think about
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. Self-love. Even your self-love to yourself is a risk because
Exactly.
even you hurt yourself, even you break your own heart. However, you fall, you get up, you dust yourself off, you keep it moving. You forgive yourself, you nurture yourself, you love yourself all over again.
Diamond in the
And you
rough said she was conflicted.
I understand. But girl, let me explain something to you. If you would put your hand over your heart and breathe it and just feel your heartbeat, hear how beautiful it is. It's one of the most amazing gifts that we were given in this life. Once that stops, that is it. There is no return. This is not
Yeah.
a dress rehearsal. This is one time, one opportunity. I
This
was
is this
blessed.
is the recital all the time. We're always at the recital. This is the only space that we're always at the recital. Life is a freaking recital. We don't have time for be like, let's just
Exactly.
rehearsal. Let's go. No, this is it.
You know, my near-death experience for me was a gift to me because it woke me up on so many different levels where I shifted, I've grown, I've transformed, and I allowed myself permission to kick fear in the ass, to kick fear in the ass and say, regardless of how scared I am, I'm going to jump, I'm going to leap, I'm going to stretch because that experience, and I have the scars to show it, is like, no, no, ma'am, no, sir. We ain't doing that today.
Yeah,
Trust
cut.
me. Get your lessons by keeping your antenna up. That way you can see the BS. Yeah, you can see the BS a mile away. Absolutely. However, sometimes we get stuck in the BS because there's a lesson in the BS that we need to learn.
Absolutely. And one important thing I want to make here, an important point, is that Mr. Renströmer said, when you almost like lose your life, your aspect is different. That's really true. Like all of us, I have not met anyone who basically have gone through a transformation in their life where they have not gone through something so serious where they're just like so close to major disaster, death, or whatever the situation is. You know, unfortunately, that happens to be part of the formula, you know, and that's probably why when you're growing up, you also have your parents, you know, they're telling you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, or whatever. And you just like testing them and you just like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And next thing you know, you're like, okay, you're going to see what's going to happen to you. But the way they say it to you is so provoking to the point that they do not allow you to be part of who you're supposed to be, you know, so that inflicts fear. But there's a reason why they communicate that way to you, but we just don't understand it because they're in their world and we're in our world. But once you go through stuff, it becomes different for you. It really does.
And this is why I am the rainbow sheep of the family, because I was that chick. I was the rebel. Like, don't do it. All right, I'm gonna do it anyway, because you know what? I had to experience it. I had to experiment. But I'm glad because now I have my stripes and my scars and my battle wounds to talk about it and say, yeah, I know exactly what you're going through and I know exactly the outcome. You're gonna go either down that road or you're gonna go down that road. Which one? And it's funny you said about that because the other one is my rock bottom has been an absolute blessing because it has made me extremely thankful for, grateful for, and strong in how far I've come in my life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you know what? You know how people will say things like, oh, I hate my past. I don't want to talk about it. You know, it depresses me. I wish I never went through this. I told the girl, I was like, listen, you better be happy about your past because your past is what framed you to be where you are today. Okay.
Yeah.
You can cross-reference it. And the thing about it, you don't have to stay in it. Like I said, you're not going to park yourself in the past, but you're going to utilize it for it to become your strength and move forward from there. You know, so it's okay. You go through what you go through for a reason. Everybody has their path laid out for them, and we all living life and we all go through experiences. But at the end of the day, if you look at it, we go through different experiences in different ways, but we all meet up similar destinations. Because look at me and you right here. Yeah. You remember how we met when we met? Like, you would think that we would still be here now today and I'm interviewing you twice on a show? Come on now. We have gone through some stuff.
Exactly. Yes, unique serendipity. Yeah, she said Phoenix taught me how to fly. Yeah, I was just like, look, you're going to get your wings and you're going to fly because we ain't doing this today. You know, my mission is to help people fly, to help people soar, to help people stretch their wings, to help them to do things they never thought they were able to do.
And you have done that for me.
Yeah, you know, that's my gift. That's my mission, to help humanity soar and fly and manifest and create and bring things to fruition from their heart space to make it tangible where they could touch it, feel it, smell it, and experience it and know, like I did that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that. And I always tell people, before you take your last breath, I want you to do X, Y, Z. What is your heart's desire? I want you to do that before you take your last breath. You don't know. So, but the book is on Amazon, is on Barnes and Noble. If you want an autographed copy, inbox me. I'll send you the link for that. It is worldwide. It's in a whole bunch of different publications. I'm so thankful for it. It's even in like Brazil and stuff. Like there's a bookstore in Brazil that carries the book.
Really? That's nice. That's nice. That's so awesome.
Yeah, I actually definitely want to translate it into Spanish and French eventually. I want to do that too. But yeah, it's 365 days of affirmations for your mind, heart, body, and spirit. It is pretty much my life story in the form of affirmations for every day of the year. So it doesn't
Nice.
have to be order when you're reading the book. Whatever your spirit leads you to, whatever affirmation, then you do that.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because
perfect.
someone asked me today, so I said I will definitely talk about that. Last affirmation: my past can no longer hurt me or haunt me unless I give it power. My mistakes have no power unless I give them permission to hold power over me. Fear cannot control me unless I allow it to consume me. I choose to take my power and my permission back.
I love the fact that it's not like in sequence, like you don't have to follow it from page one. Because I'm the
Not
type.
at
Don't
all.
ask me why. Because I'm the type where I get a book and the first thing I do is go to the last page. I don't know why. I just want to see what's in the last page, what's on the cover and the back, and then I go flip over. Like it's always
Now
been a
you
habit for me
can do
all
it.
the time. Yeah, I'm like laughing, like, oh, okay. And then next thing you know, and like I used to get yelled at as a child because of this, okay? But I still do
Mhm.
it till today. All right, so
Yeah,
don't even judge me.
not just. So everyone can find me on Instagram, official Phoenix Gibbs, or my other page. It's 365 Affirmation Books by Phoenix G. Facebook, Phoenix Gibbs, official Phoenix Gibbs. Email is officialphoenixgibbs at gmail, and Get Spiritually Activated is my website. So you can connect with me if you have any questions about how to get started writing a book or how to come up with your own situation. I'll gladly answer the question for you. I also do heart-to-heart inspiration sessions, which is you come to me and whatever, like the question that the young lady had, I'll actually go through that with her, even more in depth to just help her find her way in her life. And it's a
Mhm,
good opportunity for you to finally be seen, heard, and inspired by someone who's been through so much different experiences to just guide you in the correct direction with life
mhm.
methods and skills that's life changing and is a game changer. Things that I use within my own life when it comes to confronting family or friends, using your voice, finally finding your authentic self and what that looks like to you, as well as my YouTube channel and my spiritual wellness boxes.
Awesome. So on
Mhm.
your YouTube channel, what is it that people can expect to find?
Well, my YouTube channel, I just talk about my experiences from surrendering to my permission and my power to myself to creating your sense of what family means to you, how to release fear and anger and hurt, to truly falling in love with yourself, to a whole bunch of different topics. So if there's any topic that anyone wants me to discuss or question that they have for me, then I'll answer it on the YouTube channel. So it's just something that's real, raw, uncut, unfiltered,
Mhm,
because I cook on the YouTube channel. But it's just talking about truth. It's talking about life. It's talking about expectations. It's talking about no longer giving into people and places and situations. Learning how to let go and release shit that don't hurt you, that don't serve you. Like I talk about everything and then some under the sun.
awesome, awesome,
And it's
awesome.
called 11 minutes of heart to heart inspiration videos because it's just 11 minutes. 11 is my spiritual ascended master's number. So that's what it is, 11. So it's 11 minutes of pure inspiration, motivation, reality checks to punch you in the gut, but to pat you in the back and say, I love you, but you needed to hear this shit today.
Absolutely. I love it. Raw and
Yep.
cut, you know,
Yeah,
and we all need a raw and cut person in our lives, at least one, and
absolutely.
don't be afraid to attract that particular person because that's the person that will always stand up with you through thick
Yeah,
and thin, you know,
absolutely.
whether
Yep.
it's good or bad, they're there with you. You're going through a disaster, they're going to be there with you. They may not like what you're going through by all means, however, they're still going to stand for you, you know.
I always
And
say I love to have people in my life that love me when I have nothing to offer them. They just love me.
absolutely, absolutely.
That
Those are the
and
true
so that's
friends, people.
Yeah, and that's what my channel is about, like just loving people because I don't have anything to offer. I have all my experiences, but I don't have anything to like offer. But you love me because of what I'm giving to you, which is my real raw and my honest experiences, so that you can apply it to your life. And maybe you've been going through something similar in your life, and now you just added something valuable to apply to whatever it is you're experiencing. So that's what the channel's about.
Right. And the thing about being a giver, it doesn't always have to be something tangible. It doesn't have to be something that you need to touch,
Mhm.
or like feel that you say that that person gave you or you receiving. It could be simply the fact that people are holding space for you. I think that's more of a big gift than
Yeah.
anything, because
Like I said, you are the gift that keeps on giving in yourself, and you are the experience that people get to experience within you. And that's what I am. That's why I took off all of the titles that I used to have for myself, because at the end of the day,
Mm,
I'm and my gift is me. My gift is my experiences. My gift is my wisdom. My gift is the love and compassion and respect and inspiration that I give to others to help them
mhm.
do the same. And then they turn around and they do it to somebody else. Like someone told me, you're the gift that keeps on giving. I'm like, and so are you, because we all gifts that keep on giving. It's just the way that we choose to use our gifts and our abilities in our lives to
Right,
share and share authentically, share
right.
wholeheartedly. Don't share with agenda, because at that point it's no longer a gift.
Yeah.
It's
And
no longer.
also the fact that you can share, like you can give without allowing yourself to be depleted, that's the number one for me. Okay.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
is the jackpot one for me. Not
Yeah.
allowing yourself to be totally stressed to the point where you're empty. Okay. Huh. That's a
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah.
That's a
And
big
that's something that I had to learn, just to create the boundaries when I'm giving. Like, okay, you've given enough today, so tomorrow you give back to yourself.
yeah.
Hmm.
It has to come around in
Yeah.
circles. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Yep.
And that's the thing with law of reciprocity. Like, a lot of us for the time being will probably be, I know that I've been experiencing it. I know you've been experiencing it, but some other people have been experiencing it too. And you have others that are looking at it, but like, what, how is it that people are just giving to you like that? Well, I had to say to someone, when was the last time you were in the position of giving, you
Yeah.
know, and
Hmm.
unintentionally giving?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all,
So
we're all in a position of giving every single day of our lives. It's how we choose to give and what way we choose to give, and give authentically and wholeheartedly. I give every day.
same here.
I give and I think nothing of it. I think
Yeah,
nothing of it.
absolutely.
5 minutes of my time giving to something or someone who truly, truly needs it, that makes my heart smile.
Absolutely. 100%.
Smile. And it comes full circle, and however it comes full circle.
It does. It really does. GQ says we preaching tonight.
I, we doing some sermons in and out. It's all good though.
we're gonna pass the bucket in a minute.
Yes, that collection plate. That collection plate. So, but if you guys know anybody besides yourself that'd be interested in affirmations, send them to Amazon or Barnes and Nobles, or just connect with me. I'll send you my link if you want an autograph copy. Um, I'd love to do that for anyone who wants an autograph copy. And I hope that everyone gets something out of it, that
Mhm.
it helps them in some way, shape, or form, some form of inspiration or encouragement, an aha moment, a revelation for them to apply to their lives. And it's, like I said, it's a go-to guide for your mind, heart, body, and spirit.
And those of you who do actually purchase the book, please do not forget to leave a positive review for the book,
Yes.
because it does
Yes.
help the author. We're in the author, team, author game here. So the reviews mean a lot to us at this time.
And if you don't mind taking a picture and inboxing it to me so I can post it on my Instagram book page, just one of these things here.
Or even if you don't want to show your face, but I got the book. Show the book.
Exactly. I would appreciate it. And so for everyone who got a pre-ordered copy, once I finish doing the virtual book signing on Thursday, I'm shipping everything out on Friday, so you should receive it by Saturday, Monday, the latest.
Mm,
But I wanted
okay.
to have everyone celebrate with me on Thursday with the virtual book signing, and definitely I'm signing the books. So I'm shouting out the person's name, like Martine. Okay, I'm gonna sign your book. What else you want me to put in the book for you, baby?
Okay. That's nice. I like that. I like that.
We
That's
can't do a
really
physical
good.
signing because of COVID and everyone's in different, states and countries or whatever. So I wanted to like really be present with everyone and show my gratitude and my appreciation by doing a virtual book signing and going through, one book one by one, signing the book, showing you that here's my signature, here's your name.
I got you.
And,
yeah.
And then
So
mail it
one
out.
quick question that I want to highlight on is you talked about COVID, and basically you're like, you can't do face-to-face book signings and stuff like that. And how are you dealing with the whole transition at this point with COVID? And now it's been a year since we've kind of been like on lockdown, so how are you pretty much dealing with it?
I'm learning to live my life within the limitations that we have no control over.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes.
I am wearing my mask when I go outside. I am social distancing. When we come inside, we sanitize and disinfect and spray every mother effing thing. And because before I was just like, this is too much, and I allowed it to consume me, that I was allowing life to pass by, and I had to give myself a reality check, and my wife had to give me a reality check and say, babe, we have to live life still. So I live life within limitations of what we can control, and I've learned to relinquish the control of what I cannot and can't change.
Yes.
Because, this is our reality. It's temporary. It's temporary, but it's reality for right now. And it's finding what the lessons are for us with COVID. What is the lesson we need to learn with COVID? Be it mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially. What are the lessons? So I think it's a time of awakening, a time of reflection, a time of lots of self-love, lots of self-care. I mean, that's been the theme for 2020 to 21. Self-care, self-care, self-care. Every other day I'm like self-care this, self-care that. I'm like, I need to think of another word or a title or some stuff, because
I've only been using self-love, and that's all that works for me. And self-care falls right into self-love, and I'm done.
Living life still is such a powerful thing. Yes, so living life
Absolutely.
still. This weekend, like I said, was my birthday weekend, and my wife took me to Charleston, South Carolina for the weekend, and we went on a horse and carriage tour of South Carolina from Charleston, and it was so beautiful and so stunning. The houses, it was amazing. That's something that's embedded in my memory. And even though we had to wear masks through the whole tour,
yes,
I had to mentally say to myself, you know what, Phoenix, enjoy this moment. You just turned 44. So many people have taken their last breath at 44.
Yeah.
You're still. So even though you have to wear this mask and it's outside in the cold, enjoy being present.
Absolutely.
Appreciate being around you. And so that's what 2020 and 21 has taught me, to appreciate everything around me. But it also taught me to celebrate myself, celebrate all of my accomplishments, because I used to be the person, I wrote this book, okay, cool, that was nice, let me go on to the next project. I didn't sit with the celebration. I didn't sit with the accomplishment. And that's my lesson, and something I had to put into action in 2021. And my friend Christine, she actually brought that to my attention. She was like, but did you celebrate yourself? And I'm like, no, well, I have to. She said, no. Did you celebrate yourself? I was like, holy crap, no, I didn't. And I had to literally sit with that, was celebrating myself. So this year, it's about me celebrating me, and me really truly patting myself on the back for my hard work, because I work extremely hard at everything I do. But I never ever celebrate and honor the accomplishment. I never celebrate and honor the hard work, the creativity, the long nights of blood, sweat, tears, and pouring into it. I pour into the work, but I don't pour into the celebration of the work.
Yeah, the celebration is more important, as a matter of fact, because you're celebrating the victory.
Absolutely. And so for me, that's what 2021 is about, is celebrating the victory and not feeling guilty about it.
No.
Not feeling bad, because it's something that I worked hard for, so I deserve every part of the yumminess of the celebration.
Yes.
And so that's what this is about. So I indulged a little bit on my birthday because I turned into more like vegan, plant-based, putting stuff in my sacred temple. But I was like, I'm gonna have a pina colada, and I have a cosmopolitan, and my wife got me some barefoot Moscato, and I was just like,
That's fine because it's not like you're doing it every day. You know what I mean? So why not? Why not?
right. hmm But and that's what this year is. Last year was the whole full-blown ascension, even though I'm still going through the ascension process. This year is much more easier because now I know how to use my tools. I know how to breathe deep and breathe in. I know how to evoke and affirm and meditate and really go into myself and say, okay, this anxiety is not mine. Whomever this is, I'm sending it back to them with love and light and compassion and energy of healing. I pray that their ancestors and their guides and God really, really just takes them in their arms and just and cradle them and give them the compassion that they need. But this is not of me. I rebuke it. I send it back to whoever it goes to.
Back to sender. That's it.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes. Girl, I'm in the same boat too.
I know you are.
I tell you, at this point, I've come to the realization that, you know what? I'm not even fussing about the whole lockdown thing because truthfully, I think I got used to it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so conditioned right now that I'm good. You know,
Yeah.
I really don't have to go outside of quote unquote of what I'm doing now to feel good. I'm great.
Yeah. Or feel like you need to live life. Like people, for some reason or the other, when the lockdown first started, everyone was having a panic because people were not used to being in their homes. And that's why there were so many divorces and so many breakups. And people like, I really don't know who he is, or I really don't know who she is, I really don't know who I am. You never given yourself the opportunity to do so because you're always out on the damn street.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. Oh my goodness.
You're forced to face yourself. You're forced to face your partner. And me and my wife, we had our challenges through the pandemic, but the one thing is that we truly love each other and we knew who each other were from the beginning. And we were able to like really solidify a strong union within the pandemic. And she was going through my ascension process with me. She was like, sometimes I wanted to pull my hair out and probably go back to Texas because I don't even know what the hell was going on with you. I'm like, I didn't even know what the hell was going on with me.
Yeah, that's the thing about ascension. Like, you cannot explain what you're going through, and
Yeah.
to have somebody who could actually just vouch for you and be like, okay, if that's what she's going through, I'll go through it with her. I mean, that's all you need. And that's the
Yeah.
best gift ever,
Yeah.
because you
Yes.
cannot explain. That's why, like, that's one thing that this whole ascension thing had me realize and be a little more like lax on some people, because I understand like they don't even know what they're going through.
Yep.
They're going through something, and sometimes they don't mean to act a certain way, and not to take it so personal, because it really isn't. At the end of the day, it's just people just are trying to find themselves, basically.
And sometimes we don't come with a book of instructions where
No.
finding yourself concerned or ascension is concerned. And sometimes people may have gone through the process, but their process is completely different from what you're experiencing.
Right. Just like I went through
So,
my ascension process, and like you said, you went through your ascension process, and we're at a different level. We're still
yeah.
ascending, but the
Yeah.
major transition part, we have overcome that. Some people
We
at
have
the beginning, at the brunt of it, and it's like, you know,
this. Girl, I felt like I graduated on graduation day. I needed to throw my head up.
it feels that way. It really does. You're at such another level of understanding,
Yes.
consciousness. It's just
Yes.
everything is so much lighter. Everything is so
It
much
makes you
brighter.
it makes you
Yeah,
so much more compassionate and loving to your fellow human being because
yeah,
of what you just experienced. Like it shifts and changes your whole trajectory of life, of
yes,
spirit, of soul, of chakra, of every frequency of you. It changes you in such a beautiful way. It's uncomfortable, it's challenging, yet rewarding and beautiful at the same time. It was one of the most amazing gifts that God, universe, spirit, and myself could have given me.
mm-hmm.
Could have. me because it allowed me to fall in love with myself, like truly fall in love with myself. And it allowed me the power and permission for me to wake up to myself and to surrender to my power, my permission, which I've never done in my whole entire life before. So I was able to experience all of the love and compassion I give to the world. I was able to experience it within myself.
Wow.
That's some shit.
Heck yeah.
Feel what other people feel and say about you to the point where it brought me to tears. I was like, oh my God, this is what other people feel when they experience me.
Yes.
Like, I want to feel this all the time.
Yes.
So it's an amazing gift. Like, I gifted myself such an amazing, powerful gift. Like, it's something that I would never, ever forget and would always want to experience all the time. All the time. Because it's a different level of love of self, is a different level of confidence. It's a different level of living confidently and fearlessly. It's a different level. It's like when you evolve and elevate to another level in your life where you have full understanding of who you are in all aspects, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. It's uncomfortable. I ain't gonna say no, because there's many days I had a lump in my throat. I didn't even know where the hell the lump came from, but I didn't speak my truth. It popped up. I was throwing up. I couldn't eat. I wasn't sleeping. My whole body was on fire because my kundalini was awakening. Like, all of my chakras was on fire. I felt like somebody threw me in the oven. That's how I felt. Like my crown chakra was on fire. My heart chakra was aching in pain. I was crying every single day. All I could do was cry.
Yes.
Cry. And the little girl in me was like, I need healing too. So I had to tend to her and give her attention and give her love and be the warrior and the protector of my little girl, because she was going through a lot, yet and still. So the ascension process is not only you, the grown up, but it's also you, the little inner child, because that child needs love and healing and protection and, all that stuff too, because of the rejection that they received, the hurt that they received, the abuse that they received. It's twofold. It's just not one. It's
Absolutely.
two.
When I was going through mine, girl, I thought I was going to lose my mind.
Yes.
I
already have short to pull this motherfucker out.
But what I have to say is that once you go through the process, I mean, whoever is on the live still, please allow yourself to go through the process. If you have not gone through it, allow yourself to go through the whole ascension process, because when you get down to that very end, then you will see why you had to go through it, because it all makes sense at the end when you reach like that big bright light, I would say,
Yeah.
But it's hard.
Also, if you're going through it, reach out to me, and I'm sure you can reach out to Martine too, because you have support. It's not like you're by yourself, because I know some people on here have been going through the ascension process or have gone through it, and I've reached out to them. I reached out to them. I had people who reached out to me too when I was going through my process. You're one of them, and I was just like, girl, I don't know if I'm gonna make it today. I don't know if I need to just go roll a spliff or something, drink. This is just I can't do this.
But you know what I like about the whole ascension process is that once you reach there, then it becomes so much easier for you to identify another that's going through their process.
Absolutely. When they start telling you how to feel, their symptoms or whatever it is, you're like, oh girl, you're gonna be okay. This is what you're experiencing at the moment, and it's gonna be all right. So it's getting them to kind of like talk themselves off the ledge. Yeah. And it's realizing too that you hit emotional, mental, spiritual, physical rock bottom.
Yes, you do. You really do.
And you're going through a rebirth, so you have to allow that part of yourself to die. You have to mourn yourself in order for you to go through the rebirth.
Yeah, and it's a real rebirth, people. Like, it really does take place.
Yeah. So in order for me to have written this book the way that I did, and the way that I did it last year to this year, it was right on time.
Absolutely.
Right on time, especially with the ascension process, because a lot of people are going through ascension and they don't realize it. They don't even know what they're going through. No idea. None whatsoever. So, I mean, we just have to do better as humanity in helping each other and being here for each other and loving each other unconditionally with compassion and no judgment.
Absolutely.
And that's
Yeah.
what it has to be these days.
The no
For us to
judgment part
come
is
together
huge.
as a people. Yeah. To
Yeah.
come together as a people, regardless of what color, complexion, creed, ethnicity, culture, country, whatever, we have to learn how to come together as a people to do
Yeah.
better for each other, because what happened this beginning of this year and last year, we can't go that we can't be like that no more, because what's going to happen to, my nieces, my nephews, your nieces, your nephews, and their kids and their kids and their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know.
we have to create a better way for the future generation to have a better unified world if we don't start doing it now.
Absolutely. Right. And
So,
with what we're facing, you guys see current events, what's going on and everything, where we came from, where we are now, or it's leading towards, we definitely have to take our part and be responsible and accountable for our duty while we're
yeah,
here, because
yeah,
the work is a work that involves everyone, all
yep.
communities and stuff.
Hmm.
So no matter what community you're part of, it's not even about a matter of color or nationality. Like, you're part of a spiritual community, we're part of an author
Absolutely.
community. Like, you need to touch bases in all those different areas, because everywhere we go, we
Yeah,
touch community, we create community.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
we have to bring
Yep.
out the message all around. It's all around the same thing, because we're all going through the same stuff together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We may be going through it in a different form of fashion, but it's the same thing if you look at it.
Right. I
Same
mean,
thing.
if you think about it, this is the first year on it. Well, last year, 2020, that was the first year that we honestly went through disaster together
Yeah,
at the
the whole
same
entire
time.
world.
Yeah, it was unified.
It was unified, because normally it'd be like, okay, Taiwan had an earthquake and China had a tsunami and Africa had this going on at different times, but it was the whole entire world that
Yes.
was going through, where we were going through the same thing, the same anxiety, same fear, same thought, same
Mm-hmm.
emotion at the exact same time every single day.
Yes.
Everybody was going through the same thing.
And that's huge. That says clearly that there's a need for unification.
Absolutely.
So the same
And
way
I
we go through.
talked to my sister the other day, and I told her, sometimes in life, you either have to make a decision or a decision will be made for you.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. And you
And
always want to at least allow yourself to be the decision maker,
yeah,
so that you could have that free will.
yeah,
But
because right now with pandemic, that decision was made for us. We were forced into this. And there's nothing we could do about it. And until we learn what the lesson is, this is going to continue to go around and around and around and around. As
I
it
just want
creates.
to know the people who are not cooperative, when they gonna start learning? Because you holding us back, okay? Because we all in this together.
Yeah, is when people, and it's so sad that people have to hit rock bottom for them to get it. They're not going to get it through another person's experience. They have to hit rock bottom together, because some people are so stubborn and so ignorant to what's going on, and they're very selfish, where they don't think about, well, this could happen to my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, somebody that I truly love and care about. This could happen
Mhm.
to that person. You shouldn't have to wait until something knocks on your front door in order for you to say, okay, let me make change happen. Let me be part of the human race where we are compassionate and we care about each other.
Absolutely.
So when they hit rock bottom or something drastic happens, that's when you want to sing a different tune. Why would you wait until it's too late for someone to die, or for you to die to be like, well, damn, I should have woke up to smell the coffee a long time ago? No, don't wait
Mhm.
until something happens. Like, if you have the ability and the opportunity to shift and grow and make change happen, then do it.
Yes.
Do it. And that's the problem. That's the problem that we're having right now, because everyone wants to be a freaking what you call it, a chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian.
Indian. Oh yeah.
You know, and it's not about who's leading who, whatever the case may be. It's the fact that we're all going through the same exact thing at the same exact time.
Mhm.
If people would just sit and pay attention and just look and see
Mhm.
it, we're going through the same thing, same exact thing.
Only thing I have to say, 2020 going into 2021, all right,
Mm-hmm.
it has been the year of the empath, okay? It has been the
Girl,
year where we all came to the rise, all right? Because, hey, let me tell you, it was much needed. All of us with, the extra feelings and feeling what other people are
mm-hmm.
feeling and sensitive to this
Mm-hmm.
and that. Now is our time. Now is our
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
It's our time.
To step up. It's to step
And
up and hold space and pray and send out as much love and light and compassion to this world because it is needed in the most important way. Like it's a heart attack. It's like life and death at this point.
yeah,
We have to look at the whole entire world and what's going on like a life and death situation.
absolutely. Absolutely. Do you guys
It's
have any questions or any comments extra that you guys want to put out? They are saying too many chiefs, not enough Indians. That's her house. Mine
I bet.
too.
I
A
bet.
lot of ours too.
I bet. Yeah, I think we're both chiefs and Indians in my house. Sometimes my wife leads. Sometimes I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna just let you lead. I'm
Yeah,
tired today. Do the damn thing. So
exactly. That's the thing about me too. There are times I just be like, just do it. You want to do it, do it. And that's it.
I'm gonna be right here sipping tea. You go ahead and do the damn thing. I ain't mad at
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Right.
But that's the good
And
part that we're able to be
yeah,
like, just do it.
yeah.
Some people are not able to do that though. They're not able to say, just do it. They're gonna be like, why
Mm-hmm.
you did that? I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it
Mm-hmm.
again. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I just be like, whatever,
Yep.
do
That's,
it.
but
So
thank you
guys,
so much for the
go ahead.
thank you so much for the platform and everything you're doing to like just serve humanity in your own way. How you're doing things, it's highly appreciated because it's consistent. You're consistently showing up in every which way possible, even with everything that you go through.
Girl, some days. Tuesday, the show is Tuesdays, and I'll tell you guys this: the show is Tuesdays and Thursdays because I need time in between to take care of me. But I always show up for you guys. You guys know that, okay? It's not
Mm-hmm.
easy doing this, and it's not only this.
Mm-hmm.
I live life, and I'm not just existing. I'm actually living. So she knows what I
Yeah.
go through because she's in my inbox every day.
Uh-huh. Daya says daily affirmations are sure a way to a sound mind. We all need to have a sound mind so we can process love and inner power. Yep, that's correct. And then um, GQ of those people, another great episode of Queen Combos.
Yeah, he calls it Queen Combos.
Oh, I like
Unique
that.
Serenity has a comment. Oh, she got a question. When can we have more talks like this one? Well, the show here is Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. EST, right
Mm-hmm.
here at Author Martine Myers Handle. It's been happening since August 2020. So you're welcome to come back for Thursday. We're going to have another one. And I want to acknowledge Miss Phoenix Gibbs for Black History Month. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your thoughts, your life, your book with us. That's definitely an honor. So
Thank
Tuesdays and
you.
Thursdays, guys, come back, support, be here. There's always something to learn. Those who have participated are very excited, and they come back every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. EST to get more. So we always have a new guest, and we always have new stuff coming out. All right. So thank you for
Thank you,
supporting
Daya.
Phoenix Gives again. And don't
Yes,
forget,
thank
do
you so
not
much.
forget the reviews, okay, on Amazon.
Yeah, don't forget the reviews. And thanks for everyone who purchased the copy, the pre-order copy, or anyone who purchased on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. I truly, truly appreciate the love and support I've been receiving. It's overwhelmingly beautiful and joyful. It's an amazing gift. Thank you so much, GQ. I appreciate it so, so, so very, very, very much. It's an honor, and I'm very humbled. And like I said, it's something that I was led to do. So definitely have to make sure that I answered the call that was put on me to write it. And I hope that you receive whatever it is that you get out of the affirmation book. And like I said, it's a go-to guide for anyone that's going through something, especially when you're having a challenging day. Just pop the book open, whatever chapter, tugs at your heart, that's the one that you go with.
Well,
Thank
you're gonna know when I get mine, because I'm gonna be like, bam, tag. I got my look.
Some people like, when I had, sometimes I take pictures of the of a page of affirmation. I put it like, girl, you talking to me? Woo, child.
Yeah, yeah. I saw that on the new page. I was like, oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
So that says that I could do that too and just tag that page and be like, hey, I'm on this affirmation today.
Exactly.
I love it.
You too, Empress, Unique Serenity. I honor you too, Empress.
Yes.
Well, thanks once again, guys. Here's the book again. There you go.
Thanks once again, everybody, and thank you for keeping the chat so busy. I appreciate every one of you guys who came through, had your questions out, your comments. Thank you for showing love every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And on that note, we're gonna leave it. Oh my God, 9:30. Thank God Instagram does not have an issue with us with time. We be turning it up.
All right, so
I'll see you guys.
Take
care.
Okay.
Have a good one. All right.
You too. Bye.